Welcome in, you guys. We are going to be doing some middle school math today. So if you know about anybody that's struggling with fractions, I want to do some fractions, and then we're going to do some exponent work and so on. So for this first one, we have 21 divided by 11 divided by 7 divided by 11. So you may have heard of keep, change, flip. So we're going to keep this fraction as it is and do 21 over 11. We're going to change this fraction to its opposite. So what's the opposite of division? Multiplication. And then we're going to flip this fraction. And when you hear the reciprocal, you guys, all that means is you're doing the flip, okay? So you're putting the 11 on top and the 7 on the bottom. And now we can multiply straight across. But before we multiply, hey love, before we multiply, I always tell my students to try to simplify first. So I see 11 divided by 11 goes away. So I'm left with, so it goes away to 1. So 21 times 1 is 21. And then 1 times 7 is 7. Hey, Hidden. Hey. Do you divide fractions? No multiplying? So we can never divide fractions. We always have to change them to multiplication. So 21 divided by 7 is going to give us 3. And that is our answer. Hey, DJ. Hello. Hi, Fire. Hey, Shane. Welcome in, you guys. Hey, Monique. How often do I go live for 6th graders? It just depends. It's how many requests I get. Yes, you can, Jimin. I'm sorry. I'm probably killing your name. Sorry. It's like that first day when I meet all my students. I'm like, I'm going to murder your name. And then once you tell me, I get it right. Wisconsin in the house. I'm in Wisconsin too. But yes, you can contact me, but I do have finals this week. So if you could just get me to the end of Friday, because I'm grading 1,000 finals. I'm doing all this. But if you can wait till after finals, like at the beginning of next week, I will for sure get back to all back tutoring. Hello from Chicago, my next door neighbor. Okay, so let's do number 2, you guys. Okay, so good. So we're going to divide 3/5 divided by 1/5. Remember, you can't divide fractions. So you have to keep, change, flip. So we're going to keep this fraction as it is. 3/5. We're going to change this to its opposite. The opposite of division is multiplying. And then we're going to flip, okay, which is called the reciprocal. So this is 5 over 1. Okay. So now you guys tell me, does anybody see anything that we can simplify before we multiply across? Do you see anything we can cancel out? Good. User and 5-star said 3. Excellent. Did you guys say 3 or 5? 5. Yes, the 5s can cancel out because we have a 5 divided by 5. So a 5 over 5 goes to a 1. And then we multiply straight across. So 3 times 1 is 3. And then 1 times 1 is 1. But 3 divided by 1 is just 3. And this is our answer as well. Okay. Okay, number 13. What do you guys, number 3. Oh, you guys, I'm tripping today. What is number 3? What do you guys think about number 3? No, this is 6th grade math. Somebody said they thought this was 7th. 7th graders do a little bit of this, but they do more, theirs is like mixed numbers. Okay, so Lucia said 8 is the answer. Emma said 8. Okay. This is 5th grade math. Oh, okay. I don't have any elementary. I only have access to middle school and up curriculum. So if you do this, let's change this to multiplying. We flip this 18 over 1, and then we keep this. So keep, change, flip. And then what can I cancel out? Hey, Pact. Hey, Pact. Hey, Pact family. I see you, subscriber. Thank you for joining us. If you want me to cover anything, so this live, you guys, is for my Pact family, for those who support me. So if anything you want me to teach during this live, put it in the comments and I'll cover it. Okay, for my Pact family. Okay, so find the common denominator. Ooh, let's talk about it. Thank you, Anna, for the roses. Do we need a common denominator when we multiply? Do we need a common denominator when we multiply? Good. Lee said 18 divided by 9. No. Yes, we do not. The answer is no to that. You only need a common denominator when you're adding or subtracting, never when you multiply. So when you're multiplying, you can just cross simplify. So 18 divided by 9 is 2. Okay. And we know the 2 goes on top because 18 is the bigger number. Okay. So this cancels out, go to 1. This goes to a 2. So now we have left is 4 times 2. And 4 times 2 is 8. And that is our answer. Yep. Lee said 8. Perfect. Do you teach? Oh, let me see. Do you teach? Thank you for all the follows, you guys, and the double taps. Do you teach 5th grade math? Show, I do not even know what is taught in 5th grade math. I'm a high school teacher. And so I'm not sure what they actually teach. That's why I don't really do 5th grade and below. Oh, thank you. I see Pack message. Good. I'm glad you guys see it. Okay. So that's why I don't teach 5th grade, because I don't know what they cover in 5th grade. But yes, I do teach Algebra 1, geometry, pretty much anything besides calculus and below. Pre-calc, yep. All right, so let's do number 1. Okay, so let's do number 1. Let's do a couple of more of these. So we're going to keep, change, flip. So we're keeping this. or take out, simplify out. So if you do not know, like if you struggle with multiplication, then if you struggle with seeing what number goes in, just ask yourself what times what can give you 27. Okay. And what times what can give you 27 is 9 times 3 can give me 27 over 5. Okay. Times 1 over what times what can give me 6. Well, 2 times 3 can give me 6. And since I have a 3 on top and a 3 on bottom, the 3's cancel out. So I'm left with 9 times 1, which gives me 9 on top, and then 5 times 2, which gets me the 10. Okay. So that's how you can cross simplify without knowing, that's how you can see it. Yeah, it's called I think it's a factor. That's what I want to call it, a factor. All right, so let's go to number 3. Let's try number 3, okay? So we want to change this to an improper. Can anybody help us change this to an improper in the chat? Thank you for the shares, you guys, and thank you for the double taps. I really appreciate it. Greatest common factor. Thank you, Beef. Yes, the greatest common factor. Thank you. Multiply and add. Good. You said 5 times 2 plus 4. I love it. Somebody said 14 over 5. Perfect. 5 times 2 plus 4. And we put that all over our denominator. So we multiply here and we add the top. So we're going to get 14, like you guys said, over 5. Perfect. So we changed this mixed number to an improper fraction, which just means the number on top is always going to be bigger than the number on the bottom. Now we have divide, and we're going to make this a fraction. Every whole number can be put over 1. And then it says we keep, change, flip. Because we can never divide fractions. We always have to change it to multiplication. So we keep this 14 over 5. We change this to its opposite, which is times. And we flip this. And so we put 1 over 8. Good, you guys. Yes. I see them coming in. Wonderful. Okay, now I have a question. Can we reduce before we multiply? Can I take out anything before multiplying across? 7 over 4 times 1 over 4. 7 over 4. Yes. Good, GN. And whoever said that before that. Yes. Wonderful. There's a 2 that goes into this, and there's a 2 that goes into this. So I'm going to write it step by step. So what I'm saying is, what times what gets me 14? Well, 2 times 7 gets me 14. And I'm going to put that over 5. Then I'm going to do what times what gets me 8? Well, 2 times 4 gets me 8. Now you're able to see it that you have 2's that you can cross out. Because what a number on top, the same number on top and the same number on bottom, you can cancel out. So now you're left with 7 times 1, and you get 7, and 5 times 4, you get 20. And this is our answer, our simplified answer. Yes, Nels, by the baby. Yes, 7/20 is the answer. 7 over 20. Excellent, you guys. Good. Now, somebody said you could have gotten 14 over 40, which is perfectly fine, but then you're going to have to reduce this. You're going to have to reduce this because this is not simplified form. So how do we reduce this? We could do this. We could say, well, what times what gives me 14? 2 times 7 gets me 14. And what times what gets me 40? Well, 2 times 20 gets me 40. I have 2's on top. Yep, people are saying divide by 2, divide by 2. I'm taking out these 2's, and here is my beautiful answer, 7 over 20. Good. Okay. How do I know if it's not simplified form? That's a wonderful question. How I know that this is not simplified form is because I have an even over an even. And whenever you have an even number over an even number, usually you can cross out a 2. Like 2 goes into every even number. So, that's how you would know. Like here, we have an odd number over an even. So 7 doesn't go into 20 because there's nothing times 7 that can get me 20. So that's how I know I'm done here. Okay, so I hope that helped explain that. Yep, good. And those who are in the chat that know how to do math really well, please help explain, because I might not see every question, and we are a group and we are learning, and that was a wonderful question. So thank you for asking, and thank you for helping out, whoever's helping in the chat. What's a mixed number? Ooh, good question. So a mixed number is a whole number with a fraction attached to the whole number. That's considered a mixed number. Like both of these are mixed numbers because you have 2 wholes and a fraction of a whole, really. Oh, I know, and there's a lot of high school people that have forgotten these skills, and they just don't remember. I don't know what it is. Like they just don't remember doing this. But you know what's the difference here? When in high school, what they're going to do is they're going to put some X's and Y's with it and then be like, solve it. But yeah, this is the basics. Yep. Ooh, okay. So you love said 2 times 5 plus 4. Tiffany said 14/5 times. Ooh, let me see what Tiffany said. Okay, so 14/5 times 1/6. I love it. So 5 times 2 plus 4 over 5. Okay, because we multiply this and we add this. And we're going to divide this by 5 times 1 plus 1. So we're multiplying here and we're adding here. And we're keeping it over the same denominator, the same bottom. Okay, and then, so 5 times 2 is 10 plus 4 is 14 over 5. Excellent. Divided by 5 times 1 is 5 plus 1 is 6 over 5. Awesome. Yes. Okay, so now we have this. So now we have to do our keep, change, flip. Okay, keep, change, flip. So we're going to keep this, change this, and flip this. So we're going to do 14 over 5 times, because we do the opposite of division, 5 over 6. All right, you guys. Good, you love. Yes. I love it. That cool kid? Excellent. Okay, now I have a question. Yep. No worries. Cross out the 5s. Nels, I love it. Yes, cancel out the 5s. Excellent, you guys. So we can cancel out the 5 because we have a 5 on top and a 5 on bottom. And 5 divided by 5 always goes to 1. So that's why we can cancel them out. Now, does anybody else see anything else we can cancel out? 2 goes into 14 and 6. Yes, Nels. Yes. We have 2 even numbers, you guys. And since we have 2 even numbers, we can we can divide it by 2. So what times what gets me 14? Well, 2 times 7 gets me 14. And what times what gets me 6? 2 times 3. I can cancel out the 2's and keep my improper fraction. So 7 over 3. Now, some teachers may say this is not a good answer. They may say that. They may say that this is not an acceptable answer. They may want you to change it back to a mixed number. So I'm lost right there. Oh, okay. So Nell said they're lost right there. So all I did was I said, because some people don't know how to divide. Like they don't see, like when you put divide by 2, they don't know how to divide. But most people know how to multiply more than divide. So I just said, what times what gives me 14? Well, 2 times 7 gets me 14. And what times what gets me 6? 2 times 3 gets me 6. And then I reduced. I cancel out my 2's that they have in common. And so it's left with 7 over 3. Okay, so I hope that explains. So now, does anybody know how to change this back to a mixed number? No, you can't reduce this anymore, but we can change it. Oh, I see what I did wrong. I multiplied by 6. I multiplied the 6 and the 2. Good. Okay. So what we can do here is, but we can change it to a mixed number. And how we do that is we do the old school, division. So we ask ourselves, how many times does 3 go into 7? 2 whole times. So we do 2 times 3 is 6. And then we minus. And 7 minus 6 is 1. Well, you put your remainder that you have here, 1, and you can put it over 3. And so this and this are both the correct answers. Good. I'm glad you love it. Oh, can't you cross multiply? Okay, so let's talk about that. So you only, like when you say cross multiply, we only cross multiply when we have an equals in the middle. That's when we cross multiply, because now it becomes an equation versus here it's just multiplying. So you have to multiply straight across, not cross multiply, straight across multiply. Like the numerators you multiply together and the denominators you multiply together. Aw, thank you, Nels. All right, so number two. Thank you for all the follows, you guys. And thank you for the double taps, everyone. If everybody could do me a favor, could you double tap your screen? Can we get to 15K likes? Can you re-explain how to change back to a mixed number? Yes, I can. So thank you so much, you guys, for the double taps. So let's go back. So here, this is what we got. We got 7 over 3. So then so what this means is 7 divided by 3. So we're going to break down our old school division where you put the 3 on the outside and the 7 in the division bar. I don't know what this is called. Divisor, I think it is. My vocab is a little sketchy, okay? So now you ask yourself, how many 3s fit into 7? Well, 2 whole 3s fit into 7 because 2 times 3 is 6. And then we're going to minus. So 7 minus 6 is 1. Now, this is what we have left. We have 1 remainder left. But you put your remainder up top and you put your divisor, which you're dividing by, under here. So it's 1/3. So you have 2 wholes and 1/3. And that's how you get your mixed number. So now let's go to this one, okay? Let's go to this one because we're going to do the same thing here. So I think some people were putting it in 14 times 5 and 8 times 6. Okay, so we're going to do multiply, add. So 3 times 3 plus 2. And we put that all over what's in our bottom, 3, divided by, multiply. So 6 times 2 plus our 1. And we keep that all over our 6. Okay. So 3 times 3 is 9. And 9 plus 2 is 11 over 3. Okay. Divided by, can somebody tell me what this fraction is going to be on this side? Can somebody tell me what we get on this side? Thank you for sending all the likes. Thank you, IDK. Thank you. 13 over 6. 13 over 6. Yes. Good, you guys. 13 over 6. Perfect. Now remember, we keep, we change, we flip. Okay? Keep, change, flip. So we're going to keep this the exact same. So we're going to put 11 over 3. We're going to change this to its opposite, which is times. And then we're going to flip this to 6 over 13. Okay. Now we got a question. Can we cross simplify anywhere? Can we cross simplify anywhere? Like, can I simplify anything? 13 over 6. 11, 3, 6 over 3. No. Oh, good, Unique. I know. I feel like that's how I'm going to feel with her English. I was like, what in the world is this for my daughter? She just started kindergarten. And it's like, I can only imagine. Yes. The 3 and the 6. Yes, the 3 and the 6. I love it. Yes, 3 and 6. So 6 divided by 3 goes in 2 times. Yep, 2 times. Excellent. 6 divided by 3 goes into 2. So now we're left with 11 times 2, which is 22. And then this is a 1. This is canceled out. So we get 13. Now this is a correct answer. Like when you get to college, that will be enough. Okay. My college professors were like, that's it. I don't want you to be going back and forth. Like, that's good enough. Now, but when you're in 6th grade, they may want you to change this back over. 11 over 3 times 6 over 13. Yep, perfect. 22 over 13. Excellent, you guys. Okay. Oh, Crystal, yeah, you said, but it's so hard. I'm in college, but good. This is so hard. Yes. I know. Isn't it crazy? Like, we get to algebra, we doing all this XY stuff, and that seemed easier than all these 1,001 steps. I tell you, it's crazy. Okay, so let's change this to a mixed number. Okay, let's go back over. So remember, we're going to do that old school division. I'm going to write it right here. 13 divided by 22. Now, how many 13s can we fit into 22? I believe we can only fit 1 in there. So we have a whole 1 that could fit into 22. And we're going to minus. Okay. So how I look at this is 13 plus what number can get me 22? Okay. 13 plus what number can get me 22? Well, 13 plus 7 can get me 20. And then I need another 2 more. So it has to be 9. Okay. This is what I have left over. Good. So Steven said 1 and 9/13. I love it. Yes. So we put that 9 and then we put the 13, what we divided by, over. And so it's 1 and 9/13. Once the alphabet made it into math, I could not do anything but cry. I know. Trust me. And you know what's even crazier? It's like the higher you go in math, the numbers fade out even more. And all you're doing is writing page-long proofs. And it's nothing but words. Wait, I miss when you got the like terms. Thank you, Kay. Okay, you missed when I got the like. Wait, you missed when I got the like terms? I'm not sure I'm following. But let's go to number 3. Let's try number 3. And then hopefully, like, you can catch me on this one, okay? So we're going to change this to an improper fraction. We're going to multiply 4 times 5. And we're going to add our top, plus 3, okay? And remember, this always goes over what you are dividing by, which is 4. Divided by, and then we multiply here and add the top. So 2 times 1 plus 1 over 2. Okay, good. So you said 20 plus 3, 23. Love it. 23 divided by 4. Perfect. So 4 times 5 is 20 plus 3 is 23 divided by 4. And then we have divided by. Can you explain that just step? Okay. So what we're doing here is we're changing these mixed numbers, and all a mixed number means you have a whole number with a fraction attached to it. So we're changing this mixed number into an improper fraction. And what an improper fraction is, you're going to have your numerator, which is the top, bigger than the bottom, which is the denominator. Okay? Yep, math is like learning a new language. It totally is. So how we do this, how we change a mixed number to an improper fraction, is we multiply the denominator times the whole, and we add it to the numerator. And we put that over the 4. Okay. And then we do 2 times 1 plus. Can you do the long division again? Yes, we will. Yep, I for surely will. And then so now we're doing 2 times 1 plus 1. So 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3 over 2. Okay. Yep, you're so welcome. Yes, thank you for the question. Oh, what time is GED math tomorrow? So I believe, let me see. So tomorrow I want to say around 4 o'clock, 4:30ish. Hey, Dots, thank you so much for the rose, hon. Yep, so around 4:30ish, 5 for sure, okay? Okay, so catch me at that time tomorrow, and we're going to just hit it for a couple of, we'll hit it. We'll do geometry and algebra, okay? So now we're going to keep, change, flip, okay? Keep this, change this, flip this. So we're keeping this the exact same. So I'm going to write it over here, okay? So we're going to put 23 over 4. And we're going to change this to its opposite. So we're going to times instead of divide, and we're going to flip. So we're going to flip this. And flipping means the 2 has to go on top and the 3 has to go on bottom. Now, does anybody know? Does anybody see what we can simplify out? Thank you so much for the double taps. 2. Linda said 2. Excellent. So 2 and 4 both can be simplified by 2. So we can divide this by 2, which goes to a 1. And 4 divided by 2 goes to a 2. And so now we have 23 times 1, which is 23. And then 2 times 3 gives us 6. So now we're here. We're at 23 divided by 6. Good, you guys. I see those 2 and 4s coming in. Yes, the cool said 2 times 2. Yes. Perfect. Okay. So now we have this. Now we're about to do that long division again because I want my answer as a mixed number. So I'm going to do 6 divided into 23. Now, how many 6 can I fit into 23? Can somebody tell me in the comments? Okay, Linda said 3. Okay, good. Edward said 3. I said 3. Okay, good. 3s are coming in. Yes. So 3 6s, 3 times 6 gives us 18. And now we minus. Now remember, most people struggle with minusing, but they're better at adding. So how I teach my kids, 18 plus what number can get me 23? Count up. Well, 18 plus 2 can get me to 20. So this is how I have them look at it, okay? I draw 20 that's in the middle. So from here to here, it's 2. And from here to here, it's 3. So I add these two numbers. So 2 plus 3 is 5. Okay, that's a little, because most kids get tripped up when you have to borrow, make this a 13. It's just too much. So if you have them do practice adding up, it will save them a lot of headache. Okay. All right, so we have 5 here. So now we're going to put 5 over 6. And this is our mixed number. You guys, the live. Okay, so let me tell you guys, Super Teacher Guy is amazing. Please go follow him. He really, like, if you have a child that's struggling or that you homeschool, he really does awesome videos on how to look at the math, how to teach it, fractions. Way better. I tell you, he teaching me, okay, some skills in these fractions. I'll tell you that. So go follow him, please, because he's fantastic. All right, so do I have any 7th graders in the house? Do you guys want to do some 7th grade math? Do you guys want to do some 8th grade where we do systems? What do you guys say? We can do systems. We can do some 7th grade. 8th grade? Okay. Yeah, I do 10th grade. I did 10th grade yesterday. We got into some geometry proofs because I know a lot of people are doing proofs right now. And so that's what I did yesterday. I did a couple of proofs and I did some parallel perpendicular lines. And so let's do some systems. Ooh, so I got some T's people up in here. Okay, so tomorrow I'll do GED. And then Thursday, since you asked for, not Thursday, Friday, I could do Friday for T's. If you would tell me you're going to show up Friday, I'll do T's Friday, okay? Will I do algebra? Let me see. Let's see. This is kind of algebra. It really is 8th grade, but it's like you do systems in algebra class. You do it all the way up. Let me see. Like, are you talking about this type of algebra? So we could solve some equations, some inequalities. But let's do this, okay? So we're gonna solve. Is anybody doing systems right now? Is anybody doing that? Okay, Sat, I got you. I got you for the T's then. Is anybody doing systems right now? Or do you guys want to do solving equations? What do you guys want to do? How far up do I go? I go up, like I said, I could do some calculus, but I would never like tutor because then you got like, I don't feel comfortable charging somebody for calculus, but pre-calc and below, I got you. Systems. Okay, I got one system. So let's do a couple of systems and then let's go to some solving, okay? So this solve each system of equations by substitution. So we're going to do the substitution method, okay? And what the substitution method says is, so we can substitute. What I tell my students is I box one equation, okay? Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in this box for this y. I'm substituting this in for this y. So how I'm going to write this is I'm going to write x minus 14 equals to the rest of this equation, negative 6x. So this is the really hard part because it's like, oh, which one do I do? Well, when you have y equals, you could pick either way. Like I could have boxed this and plugged this in for here. It does not matter. You just have to decide and go with what you decide, okay? So I decided I was going to box this and I'm going to replace this here. And then I set this up. So now we just have to solve for x. So usually I want my x's on this side, but since I have this number over here, I'm going to move this x to this side. Can anybody tell me how to move this x to this side? And you weren't wrong with the plus 6x, but it would just be more steps. R Gypsy, okay, good. Minus x to both sides. We're going to minus x and we're going to minus x. Excellent. These x's cancel. And we get negative 14 equals, okay, you guys tell me, what do I get here when I have negative 6x minus x? Subtract. Okay, what do I get here? Okay, somebody said 5x, 0. Negative 7x. Yes. And let me tell you, you guys, this is why we did this last night. We did a couple of these. In 7th grade, they really focus on integers. This section is so important because it's going to show up when you're solving equations. See, you have to look at this as somebody owes somebody borrowed $6 from you. And then they said, let me get one more. They owe you a total of $7. So you add them, right? Because there's always an imaginary one there. And if that helps you, put that one there. So it's negative 6 minus 1. You're going further negative. And so now you get negative 7x. How is it 7? Okay, so I just borrowed $6 from you. And then I said, oh, I need one more dollar. How much do I totally owe you? I owe you $7. That's how we get negative 7, because I'm down negative $7. Good, I am. Yes. See, when you put it as money, like in real life, when you start letting people borrow money, you always gonna know how much they got to pay you back, right? And if you don't, let me borrow some money, okay? But when you start lending out money, you like, oh, no. You owe me 40, you owe me this. So start looking at it as money, and it'll start making a little bit more sense. So now we have negative 7x equals negative 14. Our last step always, whenever we have a number attached to a variable, that's multiplied. So how do we undo multiplication? Good. I think somebody put it in there. We divide. Yep. And what we divide by, good, Fluffy. Yes, our Gypsy, is negative 7. We're dividing by negative 7 because we want x by itself. So this cancels and we get x equals a negative divided by negative is always a positive. So 14 divided by 7 is 2. Yes, and we get that. Now, are we done? Or do we still have more to do when we talk about systems? What do you guys say? Oh, you're so welcome. Good, we have more. I know, we got more. You're like, after all we did this? Yes, we still have more because like Shirley said, we have to find the y. We haven't found the y. We only found the x. So we have to plug this in now back into here. So I'm going to substitute this 2 in place of this x right there to solve for y. So now I put y equals my x. What is my x? 2 minus 14. I'm plugging in this 2 in place of x. That's why it's called substitution. And then we get y equals 2 minus 14 is negative 12. Good, iHeart. I'm glad you get it. Now, let's talk about this, right? This is like you have $2 in your bank account. And then you went to the store and you spent 14. That's why you're down $12. Okay, before the overdraft fee hit. Okay, so now we're going to do, now we have to write our answer as a point, because in system of equations, you're thinking about two lines that intersect. So it's a point that's your answer. So does anybody know how we write our solution as a point? Good. Yes, you guys. 2, -12. Perfect. And you get 2 first because this is X, this is Y. How you write a point is you write the X and then the Y. Great job, you guys. Oh, Ryan said you got to do a graph with it. Yes. Yep. Let's do that. Oh, no, I don't have. Let me see if I have a smaller one. Because this one, I don't have a bigger graph to graph. Let's see. Did I do any graphing ones? I did elimination. Oh, let me see. Did I do one here? Let's see. By elimination. Okay, we got some graphing ones. Let's do some graphs. Hold on. Let me get my graphing paper real quick. Let me do my graphing paper. Let's do one with the graph, you guys, so we can actually see it. Okay, so here goes the graph. Got our graph right here. Okay. Oh, when do you use, I'm not sure what that says. Okay, can you ask it one more time or ask it a different way? Can you do one more word problem for T's? Yeah, I can. I'm doing T's on Friday. So if you can come back Friday, I got you on the T's. Oh, when do you use brackets? You don't use, you use the parentheses when you're doing, use the parentheses when you're saying what the point is, okay? So that's when you do that, okay? So, yep, you guys, T's, brackets, though, I'm trying to think what you're talking about. I'm not sure. Yes, I do record my lives, and I put them on my YouTube page. Yep. All right, so let's do this one. So solve the system of equations by graphing. Okay, whenever you're graphing a line, you have to know, I should ask you guys, what do you have to know about when you're graphing? Does anybody know? Can you throw out some vocab there for me? Somebody said, what's TEAS? The TEAS test is for like nurses, respiratory therapy people, like people that are going into the medical field. That's an entrance exam they take. I think it's integers. I'm not sure. So you have to know the M and the B. And remember, M is called your slope. And B is your y-intercept, okay? B is your y-intercept, okay? So now we're going to look at the first equation. My B, okay, so let me highlight. This is my B, okay, which is 4. And my M, my slope, is always next to the X. When you don't see the number there, you guys, remember, this is always a positive 1 there. So your slope is 1/1. And remember, this is rise over run. So we're going to start with 4. So we're going to put a plot on 4 right here. And then our slope says go up 1/1. Up 1/1. Up 1/1. Up 1/1, up 1/1, okay? And then if we go up 1/1, we can go the opposite direction by going down 1/1, down 1/1, down 1/1, down 1/1, down 1/1, and keep on going like this, okay? So now we have our line right here, okay? So now let's look at this equation. So I want to look at the second equation. I want to identify my M and my B, okay? So your B for this equation is going to be -2. And your slope is -2/1 because every whole number goes over 1. So this says I go down 2 to the +1. Okay. Good. Okay. Yes. M is 1x. Yes, R, Gypsy. Perfect. So now remember this, you always start with on the y-axis. So we plot -2 on the y. And then from there, I'm going to go down 2 to the +1. Down 2 to the +1, down 2 to the +1, down 2 to the +1. And then the same thing, I go the opposite direction. So if I go up 2, I have to go to the -1. Up 2 to the -1, up 2 to the -1. And this line is going to be like this. Okay. So does anybody see what our answer is? Where do they intersect? Can you guys identify this point for me? Thank you for the follow. Okay, Sat said 2. 2, 3. Okay. So right here, I always start with my x, and my x right here is at -2, comma, and then my y is at 2. So this is my answer because it's -2, 2. Good, 3 Bell. Yes, Tiffany. Okay. Oh, okay. So you said you don't get it. Do you not get how to graph the lines, or you don't get how to read it? Like, what is it that you don't get? Like, do you not know how to identify the M and the B from an equation? What is it? Should we do one more, you guys? What do you guys say? Do you guys want to do one more? Yeah, one more? Okay. Okay, so let's do this one down here. Oh, thank you. Okay, people are saying yes. Good. Okay, so let's do this one right here, okay? Let's put this here. So remember, you're always, always, always identifying the M and the B, okay? And what is the M? The M is called your slope. What does that mean? The slope is rise over the run. See, you run left and right. You rise up and down, okay? So I just want to explain this. Now, remember this M, let's go back. Let's go back to the basics. We have Y equals MX plus B. The M is the number that's always attached to the X. So this number right here is my M because this is the number that's attached to the X. So my M is going to be 1/2. So I'm rising 1 and I'm running to the +2. Okay. Now my B, you guys, I see I just messed up. I put an equal sign right there. I don't know what I was thinking. So we're just going to make it a big minus. Okay. So my B here is the number that doesn't have any, see how this is a constant? It doesn't have no letter next to it or attached to it. So this is your B. So your B is going to be -1. Now the B is the y-intercept. And what that means is this is the point on the y-axis. So I have to find -1 on this y-axis. I find it right here. I put a point there. From there, from this point, I have to go up 1 and I have to run to the positive 2. And I put another point. Go up 1, run to the positive 2. Up 1, run. Up 1, run. Okay. Now, if I go up 1 and run to the positive, to get the other half of my line, I have to go the opposite direction. So I'm going to go down 1 and run to the positive 2. Down 1 and run to the positive 2. Down 1 and run to the positive 2. And keep on going. Okay. Now, this is my first line. Like right here. Okay. Now, that's just the first line that we graphed. Now, let's look at the second line. The second line says, my slope is, can you guys tell me what the slope is for the second one, for the second equation? Good, Tiffany. Good. Our Gypsy said 1/2. Perfect. Good. So 1/2. Good. Because it's the number that's attached to the X. So my B is going to be 4. Okay. So remember, what does B mean? It's the point on the y-intercept. So we find 4 on the y-axis. On the y, I look for 4. Put a point. And then what my slope tells me is I rise 1 and go to the positive 2. So I'm rising 1, going to the positive 2. Put a point. I'm rising 1, going to the positive 2. I'm rising 1, going to the positive 2. And 1, go to the positive 2. Go down to the positive 2. Okay. And then do the same thing. Go down 1/2. Down 1/2. Down 1/2. Now, let me explain something. Does anybody know what type of lines these are called? Does anybody know? Thank you for the like, Anna. Parallel. TC said parallel. Parallel. Yes. These are parallel lines. And let me tell you a secret. Before even graphing these, you can identify parallel lines. How you can identify them, this is what you're going to do when you get into geometry. Some teachers teach this in Algebra 1. But a lot of teachers teach this in geometry. At least in my curriculum, they do, okay? So, say if 2 equations have the same slope, before even drawing them out, they're automatically going to be parallel lines. And since they are parallel lines, like You Look Good said, they have no solution. Yes, because they never intersect. So this is no solution. And this is for short for solution. Okay. I love it, RGC. The limit does not exist. Exactly. Right? All right. Well, if you guys, I have to go pick up my loved ones. But you guys have a wonderful rest of your day and GED math tomorrow night. Okay, so join me tomorrow. And I will see you for GED math. Thank you for hanging with me. Have a wonderful night, you guys.